Hey everyone, and welcome to this video. I'm Inxlora123, and I thought I would give you a warning at the beginning of this video that it's going to be quite emotional, quite hard hitting, and I've actually messed this video up a few times trying to film it because I've got quite emotional, but I'm going to persevere with it. I'm going to do it because it's really important to me. So yeah, I just thought I'd kind of warn you at the beginning of the video. So basically on Thursday it is the Holocaust Memorial Remembrance Day. Okay, so that is Thursday the 27th of January. And I just wanted to do a video in which I could talk about the Holocaust and recommend some Holocaust themed books, both non-fiction and fiction as well. I've got my laptop here, and I've got some facts to read out for you. I've got a really beautiful but very, very sad poem as well that I'm going to read out. And things like this are really important that we keep talking about, we keep educating people about, because the Holocaust was so just so horrible. And I feel that we don't talk about it enough, we don't learn enough about it. And there are actually so many people in the world of different ages that actually either don't believe it really happened, which to me, like, I can't fathom how they could even think it was like not real and stuff. And there's also people who like don't know about it. They're just they think it's like not real, like they don't understand that it actually happened, and they need to keep being educated about it. So I think it's really important that we never forget, that we keep educating people and keep reminding people what happened. So not just to look back at the past, but also to look forward to the future and hope that this kind of hatred and stuff doesn't happen again. And also respect the people who did lose their lives and people who lost family members, etc. So you probably know, because I'm very open and talk about stuff about who I am, etc. But I am Jewish myself. Now, I'm not full on religious by any means, but I'm very proud of my faith and my heritage. And yeah, I definitely feel like there are not enough YouTubers who are talking about being Jewish. And some of it is fear. I think some of us fear the the troll comments and stuff, the negativity that you could get and stuff. But like for me personally, I've always been quite open about who I am and my religion and stuff. And I wear my Star of David necklace all the time. And yeah, I do get horrible comments sometimes, but it's all a case of just letting it go over the head and just not letting them, the nasty people get to you. So I just wish that there were more people who are willing to kind of talk openly about being Jewish and kind of stick up for stuff that happens and fight against anti-Semitism. So a day like this is a really special day, and it's obviously a sad day because we're talking about the Holocaust when it happens, but it's also going to be a day where we celebrate that people were liberated, people were freed from these horrible, vile concentration camps, and they got free and that they could move on with their lives, and some went on to start families, and some went on to have like really good jobs and have like a really nice life. And even though I think those people will always be scarred and always feel that emotion, they can, or hopefully have moved on and have found some happiness in their lives. So I've got some bits and pieces that I'm going to read out to you first, then I'll show you the books. So yeah, I need my glasses, which are here. Whew, I feel just so emotional, like really. On the actual day, I'm going to be vlogging throughout the day, and I've got some things planned. So including going to a local area where they are planting a tree for Memorial Day of the Holocaust, and I'm going to go along to that. It's with the council members and like some of the Jewish community and stuff. So I'm definitely going to go along to that. And yeah, I just I want to read some books and stuff on that day. I'm going to do some arts and crafts. I've got my candle that I'm going to light up. So yeah, I've got plans for that day, so I will be vlogging throughout that day. But anyway, okay, so I've got this. Now, this information I've got from the worldjewishcongress.org. I'll put all the links down below to this, okay? It's a great website. It's really informative. And yeah, if you want to check them out, as I say, the link is down below. So this is what it says. And I just thought this was so like intense, and I just wanted to read this out to you. So it says January the 27th, 2022 marks 77 years 77 years since the Allied troops arrived at the gates of Auschwitz, but it is clear that the story of how they came to be there in the first place must be shared more widely. The Holocaust, the murder of 6 million Jews by the Nazis and their collaborators, didn't occur in a vacuum. It was the product of an unchecked hatred and collective silence. Now more than ever, we must join together to remember the past and to build a better future for all. Honestly, check out their website. It's really, really good website, very informative, and there's lots of links and different things on there. I've got my laptop here as well, so I'm just going to read some stuff out to you. Hold on a second. Where is it? I had it somewhere here. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah. So this is on a different site, actually. This is on the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust. I'll put the link to this that I'm reading out as well on this website. So it says here, Nazi persecution, 1933 to 1945. In addition to singling out Jews for complete annihilation, the Nazis targeted for discrimination and persecution anyone that they believed threatened their ideal of a pure Aryan race. Nazi beliefs categorized people by race, and Hitler used the word Aryan for his idea of a pure German race. The Nazis believed Aryan people were superior to all others, and their devotion to what they believed was racial purity, and their opposition to racial mixing partly explains their hatred towards Jews, Roma and Sinti people, sometimes referred to as gypsies, and black people, Slavic people, such as those from Poland and Russia, were considered inferior and were targeted because they lived in areas needed for German expansion. The Nazis wanted to improve the genetic makeup of the population and persecuted people that they deemed to be disabled, either mentally or physically, as well as people who are gay. Political opponents, primary communists, trade unionists and social democrats, as well as those whose religious beliefs conflicted with Nazi ideology, as Jehovah's Witnesses, example, were also targeted for persecution. Hundreds of thousands of lives were destroyed because of Nazi persecution, and many groups did not receive acknowledgement of their suffering until 1945. And there's a list here of people. Obviously, we know that 6 million Jewish people were murdered during the Holocaust, but it wasn't just Jewish people. There's a list here, for example, we've got, the Roma and Sinti people, people of colour, disabled people, Freemasons, LGBTQ, etc., Jehovah's Witnesses, non-Jewish Poles, etc. And there's also other Holocausts as well, which on this website, there's all information about them as well. There was the Cambodia, the Rwanda, Bosnia, etc. So really check out these links. It's really interesting to learn, and as much as it's hard hitting, it is important that we do, as I say, keep educating and keep learning about this sort of stuff. And there's also on both of these websites things that you can take part in, that you can learn about, and I think it's worth checking out these sites. So now I'm gonna, before I show you the books and stuff, I'm gonna read you a poem. And this poem, when I read it, I was just googling Holocaust related poems. I might even on the day try and sit there quietly and write a poem myself, and if I do, obviously that will feature in that vlog. But I do like writing, whether it's stories or poetry, but I just have to kind of get motivated to do it. But I would try on that day to do a poem. But I looked this poem up, and I read some others and they were really, really hard hitting as well. But this one just touched me. And it's by Barbara Sonek. So I'll put the link. Apparently it was originally on Pinterest, so I'll put the link down below to this. But yeah, it's by Barbara Sonek, and it's titled Holocaust, and it's very, very touching. So I'm just going to read it. Whew, without breaking down, hopefully. Right. We played, we laughed, we were loved. We were ripped from the arms of our parents and thrown into the fire. We were nothing more than children. We had a future. We were going to be doctors, lawyers, rabbis, wives, teachers, mothers. We had dreams, and then we had no hope. We were taken away in the dead of the night like cattle in cars, no air to breathe, smothering, crying, starving, dying, separated from the world to be no more. From the ashes, hear our plea, The atrocity to mankind cannot happen again. Remember us, for we were the children whose dreams and lives were stolen away. Yeah. It's just, like, if you sit there and just think about that for a second, like, it's just... Anyway, right, so I'm going to move that away now because I don't want to read that poem again, not for a little while. Whew. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you the books. Now, there are so many different Holocaust themed books out there. Some are obviously factual books and, you know, like real kind of factual books. Others are kind of like memoirs, people's autobiographies, where they talk about their experiences and their family's experiences. And there's also a lot of fiction-based books. Now, some of the fiction-based books are either based on a true story and kind of like a retelling of it, or they are just literally fictional, you know. So I've got a list of both here, and I'm also going to show you a book that I'm actually going to be reading on Thursday. So yeah, this is by Liz Kessler, called When the World Was Ours. But anyway, right, let's do this list. So I have in this bag a load of books that I got out from the local library, and I'm just going to kind of, yeah, give you some examples of books if you do want to read up about some Holocaust books. You know, these are books that are just, yeah, the factual books, but as I say, I've got a list of fiction as well. So the first one I want to recommend is The Sisters of Auschwitz, and this is by Roxanne van Iperen. So it says here at the back, I travelled through Israel. The people I met there had an urgent message for me. Tell this story because it is different from the many stories the world knows. There were Jewish resistance fighters, female ones at that. So yeah, it says here, the true story of two Jewish sisters, resistance in the heart of Nazi territory. So yeah, if you want a book that, as I say, is about like feminist kind of, you know, fighting against the hate, basically, yeah, Sisters of Auschwitz there is that one. And then we have Last Stop Auschwitz by Eddie Dewind. This is a true story. So it says, my story of survival from within the camp. There's also an afterword by John Boyne, who wrote The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, which I'll mention in a bit as well. And yeah, it says this is his kind of, you know, account of what happened and how he survived. A lot of these books as well that are factual do have like images as well that they've included and stuff. So as I say, there is a trigger for that. I found when I was kind of looking through some of these books, the imagery was so like, it really got me, you know. But as I say, it is important that we keep learning and educating ourselves about these things. The next book I want to say about is Lynn Smith, Heroes of the Holocaust, and it says here, ordinary Britons who risked their lives to make a difference. Obviously, you know, British soldiers and things were so, and not just soldiers, but British people were so helpful, and really obviously helped and stuff. So this book is about English people. There's like a spy here. Frank Foley was a British spy. He's working at the embassy in Berlin. He took huge risks. And that is the thing you hear about all the time, that there are people who are non-Jews or you know, could have been safe, but they took risks to save Jewish people, to save other kind of people. What's that? Oh, something just fell in the spare room. That was creepy. But yeah, so these are people who have took their own risks to help others, you know. So yeah, there's, as I say, there's a, who have we got here? Yeah, the spy. We've got Louise and Ida Cook, who used their love of opera as a cover to take daring trips to help Jews escape Germany and Austria right up to the outbreak of war. So that is that one. I'm not going to go like into depth of all these books. Like, if you want to learn more about them, go on Google or go on Goodreads and look them up and stuff. The next one is by Jeremy Johnfield, and it's called The Boy Who Followed His Father into Auschwitz. And this is another one of those true stories. There's actually a photograph here. I think when you see the photographs of the people, like their families and stuff and themselves, I mean, I know it's real, but it makes it even more real, like in your mind, because you can see these people. You're not just reading like statistics, you're seeing the faces of them and their families and stuff like that. So you can see there. There's a photo at the back there of the family. So yeah, it says here, the boy is my greatest joy. We strengthen each other. We are one, inseparable. If only we were free, but daily, hourly, death is before our eyes. Oh, Oh my days. Okay. I just get so emotional with all this. I really do. And yes, I'm emotional because I'm Jewish, but even if I was like a non-Jewish person, like, I would still feel just as emotional. Like, I don't know. Okay, the next book we have here is by Tyler J. Mazzio, and it's called Irena's Children. And this one says, the extraordinary woman who saved thousands of children from the Warsaw Ghetto. And you can see, as I say, more pictures here. And yeah, this woman, here she is. I think that's her, yeah. Irena, yeah. Irena Sendler is a young woman. There we go. So she saved, you know, thousands of children and stuff. And as I say, these people took risks of their own life and their families and to help others. So, you know, respect obviously goes out, and thanks goes out to them. Now, this book here is called The Zookeeper's Wife by Diana Ackermann. And I've actually seen the film of this. I haven't read the book, but I wanted to show you it because when I saw it in the library, I was like, I really want to show this in this video, because either read the book, or if you don't want to read it, watch the film. It's such a good film. I remember seeing it a few years ago, and it was just, wow. You know, just an amazing, touching, beautiful film. So yeah, that is The Zookeeper's Wife. Yeah, it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. Germany invaded Poland. It's about this woman who basically saved, I haven't seen this for years, but she saved the animals and things in this zoo, and obviously she helped people who like to get away and stuff, who are Jewish and their lives were threatened and stuff. It's really touching, that book and the film. So either way, check one out. Also, what I should have done in this video was talk about obviously the Holocaust themed films. There are so many films out there. Just, you know, Google this sort of stuff. Google Holocaust themed films, and there's loads. Like, for example, the obvious, you know, Schindler's List. One of my kind of favourite film, it sounds like happy, but, you know, my favourite as in it's amazing, beautiful film and touching, is The Pianist. I saw that many, many years ago, and that just took my heart. It was such a beautiful, beautiful but sad film. But yeah, obviously just Google these kind of films, get some ideas from that. Okay, anyway, the next book is The Boy Who Drew Auschwitz. This is quite a new book. It's by Thomas Jeeve, sorry, don't know how to say his name. And this little boy here, he was at one of the concentration camps, and he literally, yeah, he did drawings and things. And there's the artwork is in here. It's a powerful true story of hope and survival. And, you know, I've seen some of this art before. Like, it is just, you know, this is like his experience through art. This is what he was seeing. And yeah, some of the drawings are very, very, very sad. And well, most of the drawings are very, very sad, but there are a few towards the end when they get liberated and stuff, which, you know, obviously a bit more happier. But yeah, it's just, you know, the poor children, like, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously horrible to people of all ages of what happened to them, but there's just something about when you see the faces of these little children that were just, you know, just killed, and that just literally had their lives took from them before they even done anything else and lived. Yeah, this is a stunning and profoundly moving book. And as I say, the artwork in this book, as well as obviously the story and what happened and stuff, is just wow. Wow. Whew. I think that's all the library books I've got. Let me just check. Yeah, that's all the library books I've got. So now what I'm quickly going to do is read out a little list here. Now, there, as I say, there are loads more. So please Google this or go on Goodreads or whatever apps you use, like book-related apps and stuff. These are some fictional books. Some of these I've read. Some of them I haven't, but we've got Mouse, which is by Art S. Spiegelman. I think that's how you say his name. Now, that was, I think, my favourite graphic novel of all time that I've ever read. I love that book. It was so touching, but the artwork was so good. There was even like in such a dark story, there was even some like humour as well put in there, and cute stuff. And as I say, I really love Mouse. So if you've not checked it out, it's M-A-U-S. That's how it's spelled. Then we've got obviously The Book Thief. I haven't read it, but I did watch the film. Another one of those films which just, wow, what a beautiful film, but very sad, obviously. Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. No, I didn't watch the film, but I have read the book, and that, once again, yeah, an amazing story by John Boyne. Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. I haven't read Silka's Journey, which is the second one, and I think Heather Morris did another one as well. But The Tattooist of Auschwitz was just so good. It was such a good book. Another one that I loved was by Liza Wyman, who is just adorable, and it's called The Assignment. That is a YA Holocaust themed book as well. And another one I want to recommend is The Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. I listened to that on audiobook actually ages ago. So, but as I say, there are so many books, there are so many films, and you know, maybe if you just prefer watching TV shows like documentaries, I know the History Channel and National Geographic, I think, are doing some TV like documentaries for the Memorial Day. BBC Two, I think, they've got a show with Prince Charles. And basically a famous artist has come and drawn, I'm not sure if he's drawn or painted, but he's done portraits of some Holocaust survivors, and they're going to be going in Buckingham Palace, I think. So I'm going to definitely watch that show. And as I say, there are some other documentaries that you can just look up online. Or maybe if you don't like live in the UK and you haven't got these TV channels, you can go online and just look up on YouTube like different documentaries. There is so much information out there, but people just need to look at it and read it and watch it and intake what happened, you know. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the book that I've got here. Well, I've got two books actually. This is the one that I'm going to be reading on Thursday. I'm literally going to start this Thursday. So this is by Liz Kessler, When the World Was Ours. Now this is a fiction, but it is based on a true story. It's inspired by a true story of three friends. So it says 3 friends, 2 sides, 1 memory. And yeah, it's about Leo, Elsa and Max. So in 1936, Vienna, Leo, Elsa and Max had been best friends for years. Since the day they met, they've been a team of 3. But then the Nazis come and their lives, once so tightly woven together, take very different paths. Leo must rely on the kindness of strangers to escape the rising threat to the Jewish people. Elsa, right? Elsa, like Leo, is hated for simply being who she is, and to be safe, she must run. And Max suddenly finds that he is the danger his friends are trying to desperately escape as his father rises through the Nazi ranks. So you've got 2 characters who are obviously trying to get away, and obviously Max, you know, his father is part of the Nazi stuff. So it's going to be a good one, but I know I'm going to need a big box of tissues for this book, so it's going to be very sad as well. It's I think it's won awards and stuff like that. So yeah, I've had it on my bookcase for ages, and I'm finally gonna read it. Okay, and another book that if I can get through that one, I'm going to read this one as well. If I don't read it on the same day, I'll read it in the next few days. It's a little quick read here as well. So this is by Alison Leslie Gold, and it's called Hannah Goslar Remembers. And Hannah Goslar was the childhood friend of Anne Frank. Obviously, without, you know, saying too much about it, hopefully you'll know the story of Anne Frank and her family as well. So if you don't, Google her as well. But yeah, Anne Frank, she was like, this girl was one of her best friends, and in this little book they give their like stories of, there's pictures as well of them too, just kind of talking about their friendship and, you know, what they used to get up to as normal little girls before everything started happening. It says here, one day Anne disappeared, taken into hiding by her family, and Hannah thought that she would never see her again. This is a true story, an incredible book. It's a moving testimony to a girl who survived a terrible ordeal and another one who didn't. So obviously Anne sadly passed away, but this Hannah Goslar didn't, and she's going through like photos here and stories of school days and friendship and stuff. So yeah, so this is just a little quick read that I picked up a while ago, so I'm going to read that as well. Okay, so the last thing I want to say is something that you can get involved in, and I would love for you to do this. Now, I've already done mine, but I'll probably put another picture on the day as well. But basically, it's what you can do to ensure that the lessons of the Holocaust are not forgotten, basically. And social media is what we're going to be doing for this. So all you have to do is get a sheet of paper and write on it #WeRemember. Okay, So just put hashtag we remember, and then take a photo of yourself holding up this sheet of paper saying hashtag we remember, and then just share your photo on social media. So, you know, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. I mean, if you're a YouTuber, maybe you could do a quick little short video of holding it up or something like that. The main thing is that we get this out, that we share it, and I wish more people would get involved. I sometimes feel with certain other issues, like so many people want to get involved and hold up the pictures or do so much stuff and campaigning, but I think when it comes to this kind of thing, there's not that many people want to kind of get involved. For example, you don't see like loads of celebrities doing stuff like this, and that makes me sad because I wish more people would get involved in this because it's so important. So if you want to get involved in this, it would be amazing, and it would mean the world to me, and it would mean the world to so many other people who are involved in this campaign. And yeah, so I've done mine. This is my little sign. It doesn't have to be anything amazing. Like, this is literally just a, you know, my little sign that I did. But the main thing is that you've got that picture of you saying, you know, we remember, with that hashtag. So when you do, if you do this, which I hope you do, and you put your pictures on social media, make sure on your posts that you do put the hashtag we remember in your comments, or, you know, in the post, etc. So then other people can find it and then they can do it. And it's just, you know, it's just a way of kind of sharing it out, really. So there we go. I hope this video hasn't been too like depressing. I know it's a depressing subject. There's, you know, I wasn't going to sit here laughing and smiling my normal self because it's just a dark subject to talk about. But I also didn't want it to be, you know, really kind of awful video either. So I hope you've kind of took something from it, and I hope you've learned something, and I hope these books, you know, you might want to pick up and read, or maybe go and watch a film or a documentary, or maybe you can listen to something. However you do it, in whatever method, I just hope you educate yourself, or, you know, just learn more, or educate other people. If you feel you know about it a bit, then tell someone younger. Do you know, there are so many young people who don't know about it, or, as I said at the beginning of the video, they don't even believe it happened. So we need to change that. Okay, we need to change some of these young people's minds, and kind of say, look, this is what happened, here's the proof, here's what happened, and educate them. Because that way, over the years that I'm gone, and, you know, it'll keep carrying on, the history of what happened will keep going on. It's so sad to think, you know, obviously a lot of the survivors are not with us anymore. I mean, obviously there are still some, and that's amazing, and they go around and they do their talks, and it's so beautiful knowing that they can do that. But there are a lot that obviously with age have passed on, etc. So we've got to keep their memory alive, and their story alive, and keep sharing it. And as I say, it's not just about learning about the past and what happened, but it's about learning, you know, about the future, how we can never let this happen again. And sadly, anti-Semitism is on the rise. You know, there's so much hate towards us Jewish people, and it makes me sad. I feel like we haven't got enough allies at the moment, and I do worry that if something bad was to happen now, would we have enough people defending us? Would we have enough people sticking up for us? And, you know, I just think, and I just wish that more people were, you know, supportive of the Jewish community. It sometimes feels like it's just the Jewish community that kind of care about us. Like, it's not enough. And I know there are some amazing people out there who do support us and do stand up for us, and that means a lot. But I think a lot of it, what I see on social media and stuff, is just Jews standing up for Jews. You know, it's not other people as much. So I just wish that more people would get involved and help, kind of thing. And education about this would carry on and on and on. But yeah, as I say, Thursday is the Holocaust Memorial Day, Remembrance Day, and there's events happening as well throughout the world. Different events are happening, whether it's local to you, or if you can't get to something, there's so many like online events. I've actually signed up to where is it, the UK Holocaust Memorial Day ceremony, which is happening on the 27th, obviously, and it's happening between 7 and 8. So I'll put the link down below to this as well. And you just go on there, and you get sent an email with a link and stuff, and then you can attend it online. And yeah, I'm going to be doing that for an hour, watching that. And it says here at 8 p.m, get ready to light the darkness. Oh yeah, so there's going to be the show that they're doing, and then you get to like light a candle, which I'm going to do as well. Hashtag light the darkness. So stand against prejudice and hate today, and remember those who were murdered for who they were. So I'm going to be doing that on that evening. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I know I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to say this. I will instantly remove and block any horrible negative troll comments from this video. Whenever in the past I've done a video about whether it's the Holocaust or anything Jewish related, whatever, like I get so much hate, and I'm like, you know what, whatever, if you're gonna put it, I'll literally just delete it. So don't even go there, don't waste your energy typing. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.